Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into one of Python's most useful data structures, sets. They are seriously powerful, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly what they are and when you should be using them. Okay, let's jump right in. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a big list of data, maybe a bunch of emails, and it's just full of duplicates? How do you clean that up without a huge headache? It's a really common problem, and trust me, Python has a beautiful, super elegant solution for it. And yeah, you guessed it, the answer to that problem is the set. Now, alongside lists, tuples, and dictionaries, sets are one of Python's four main built-in collection types. But their specialty, their absolute superpower, is dealing with unique items. So what exactly is a set? Well, think of it like a list, but it's built for one specific job, to store a bunch of items that are all unique. It's kind of like a bag where you're only allowed to have one of each thing, and you'll recognize them by those curly braces. To really get how sets work, you just need to know three special rules that define their behavior. These are the things that really separate them from, say, a list or a tuple. So let's break them down. All right, rule number one, sets are unordered. This is super important. Unlike a list where you know the first item is always at index 0, the items in a set have no defined position. They're just kind of in there. This means you can't try to grab an item using an index because there's no such thing as a first or second item. Now, rule 2 is unchangeable, and you probably see that little asterisk. This one can be a little tricky. What it means is you can't change an item once it's already in the set, so you can't swap apple for pear. But, and this is key, the set itself isn't locked down. You can totally add new items to it or remove items from it. And finally, we get to the most famous rule of all. No duplicates allowed. This is the heart and soul of what a set is. If you try to add an item that's already there, Python doesn't throw an error, it just quietly ignores it. The set makes sure it only ever holds one copy of anything. And you can see that rule in action right here. Look, we try to create a set with the word apple in it twice, but check out the output. Python automatically just tosses out that extra one, leaving us with a clean set of unique items. It's so simple, and it's all handled for you. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's see how we can actually make and use these things in our code. The most common way you're going to create a set is just by using curly brackets. Now, it looks like a dictionary, but notice there are no key value pairs. You just list out your items, separate them with commas, and boom, you've got yourself a set. The other way to do it is with the set constructor function. This is fantastic when you want to convert something else, like a list, into a set. Now, one little thing to watch out for here. See the double parentheses? That's because you're passing a single item, in this case, a tuple, into the set function. It's a common little trip up. So what kind of stuff can you actually put inside a set? Well, pretty much anything. Most of the time, you'll probably be using them with strings just like this. But they work just as well with numbers. And don't forget that uniqueness rule. If we tried to add another 5 to this set, it just wouldn't do it. You can even throw booleans in there, but there's a fun little quirk you have to know. Python actually treats the value true as the number 1 and false as 0. So if you already have the number 1 in your set, you can't add true, because Python thinks it's a duplicate. And the best part is, you don't have to choose. Sets are super flexible. You can mix strings, numbers, and booleans all together in one single set, no problem at all. It just works. Okay, so Python gives us lists, tuples, and dictionaries. So with all those choices, how do you know when a set is actually the right tool for the job? Let's do a quick comparison. The biggest, most important difference to remember is this one. You should use a list when the order of your items is important and when you need to have duplicates. You use a set when all you care about is uniqueness and nothing else. This table here is a fantastic cheat sheet. You can see a list is your everyday workhorse. It's ordered, you can change it, and it loves duplicates. A tuple is like a list you can't change. But then look at set. It's not ordered, its items are unchangeable, and it allows absolutely no duplicates. It has a very specific and very powerful job. So that brings us to the real question, right? When are you going to actually pull a set out of your toolbox in your own code? What are the practical uses? Well, here's a really simple checklist. You should reach for a set whenever you need to. 1. Guarantee that every item in your collection is unique. 2.
you need to check if an item exists in a huge collection really, really fast. And 3, when you need to do mathematical set operations, like finding what two collections have in common. And here are some concrete examples for you. Data cleaning, that's the classic one we started with. Membership testing, like checking if a user ID belongs to a set of admins, is blazing fast with sets. And of course, storing things that have to be unique by nature, like product codes or user IDs, is a perfect job for a set. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground pretty quickly here. So let's just take a moment and review the absolute key things you need to remember about Python sets.
If you only remember 4 things from all this, make it these. 1. Sets are all about uniqueness. 2. They are unordered, which means no indexes. 3. You can't change items inside, but you can add and remove items from the set itself. And 4. You make them with either curly braces or the set function. And there you have it. That's your introduction to Python sets. They're a simple concept, but they are an incredibly efficient tool to have in your programming toolkit. So my question for you is, what common coding problem are you going to solve first with a set? Thanks for watching.